Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome. My name is Aiden. I am so happy that you are here. Today is another 4 for 4. This is a little bit different. These are all face palettes, and they're kind of ones I've had for a while, about a year or so. Some of them a little bit less, some a little bit more. But the 4 palettes that I have today is Life of the Party by Tarte. And then I have the Girl Powder by the Balm. Then we have Huda. This is the Golden Sands palette. And then we have from Makeup Revolution or Revolution Makeup. I never can remember, they have different names and it's kind of confusing. This is the Get Baked palette, so it is quite a large palette there. Now I did wear all of these palettes for 4 days and I tried different combinations. They all have a variety of finishes and shades in them, and I just wanted to talk to you about them, tell you if I'm going to declutter them, and which one of these is going into the trash, because one of them is gone bad, even though I've only had it like a year. All right, let's start with the Life of the Party, which is the Tarte, and this one is so cute. They do such cute holiday releases, and this one has been a couple years since they put it out. It does have a mirror. It does have spots here. I'll try to cover up the mirror. I probably should take out the plastic. There are a couple credit card spots in there as well, so you can use this as a clutch and take it out with you if you so choose to do that. And then the palette does pull out too. It is magnetized, so you could put this in a Z palette if you wanted to, and it does have like velvet on the back, which is kind of cool too. I did leave the plastic sleeve on it just because of the nice satin nature of this kind of clutch. This is what it looks like. So you do get 3 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlight in this one. Let me give you swatches of all of them and then I'll tell you my thoughts. So that's what they look like swatched. They are super light. You could barely just see the 2 colors up front and then or up top. The middle blush is has a little bit more pigment. The highlighter is a very pretty color. It is one that I definitely will use. And then the bronzer is a nice shade as well for my skin tone. I think if you're much deeper than me though, I'm not sure how well this will work. You can build up the blushes just a little bit, but they are so light that it's a little bit difficult to get them to show up. They're nice if you want a subtle blush, which a lot of the times that's what I do want. So I am going to keep this one. I do like it. It is something that I see myself wearing, but I don't think it was something that you necessarily missed out on. And this is one that I definitely want to try to work on panning because the packaging is bulky. I don't really want to put this in a Z palette because I don't know if I have a Z palette that's quite long enough for it. Like it feels like it's kind of an awkward size, and I just feel like this would be a good one to work through quickly. Moving on, let's talk about the Balm's Girl Powder. This is one that I got in one of my Ipsy Pluses or Ipsy Ultimate, one of those two last year. And you do get 4 shades in here. You have 2 blushes, kind of a bronzery shade, but it could also be like a blush, and then a highlight. Let me swatch them for you and let you know. All right, and that's what they look like swatched. I will say these are much softer than the other ones that I showed you, the Tarte. The Tarte are nice, but they're a little bit more of a drier formula. This is definitely more of a creamy formula. As you can see, they have a little bit more pigment to them as well. So these ones you definitely do need to go in with a light hand. If you're as pale as me, this will work for deeper skin tones a little bit. I don't think this would be great for if you have like darker than a medium skin tone, but I do like this one. I'm on the fence about this one, whether it's something that I will keep in my collection or not. I think the packaging is darling. I'm just not so much sure how much I like the bronzer. I do really like the highlighter. It's so hard to see, but it's a perfect like shade match for me. It's definitely the type of a highlighter that I like to wear. Moving on, we next have the Huda. This is the 3D highlighter palette. These are kind of odd because they're called highlighter palettes, but they definitely don't seem like a highlighter palette to me because of the shades. This is the Golden Sands. She's done several of them, and they each kind of are themed to a season, and I think this one was supposed to be themed to the summer. So you do have a cream highlighter, then you have like what I would consider an actual highlighter, and then what I would consider more of like a bronzer, a glowy bronzer, and a glowy blush. They're supposed to be technically highlighters, but they don't work for me as highlighters. All right, so these are super glowy. As you can see, they really do shine with the light. They do have quite a bit of pigment too, like I said, with that what I would consider more of a bronzer or a highlight. I think if you have a deep complexion, this would be gorgeous, but I think like you could build these up and these two would be really beautiful. I think it's a very beautiful palette. I do like the formula. Like these are so smooth and so buttery. I do like it, but there's an issue which I will talk about at the end. Okay, last palette, I'm trying not to get it in the ring light. This is from Makeup Revolution, and it is the Get Baked palette. I got this, I think, at Burlington. It was pretty cheap. You have a lot of shades in here. So there are 15 shades. I'm going to try to swatch them all. I'll probably do like 5 at a time and just do like the bottom row, which is actually the top row. I could hold it this way. I'll do them like 1 row at a time so you can kind of get an idea of what they look like. All right, these are pigmented. I mean, there are some major pigments going on there. That one in the middle, that would be like a gorgeous like eyeshadow color. Most of these I cannot use on my face because they're just not the right shades at all. There are some beautiful ones. I really like this one. I think it's beautiful color. Again, not really the best cheek color for me because it feels like, you know, just a little clownish, but like I can make some of the shades work a little bit more than others. So that's what the first row looks like. All right, and this is what the middle row looks like. They're not quite as pigmented as that top row, but there are a lot of gorgeous just shimmers in there. There's really a glowy formula. All of them have an immense shine to them, and I apologize for the stupid ring light. There we go. That's a little bit better. But yes, all of them are very glowy. All of them have a lot of like they're baked formula, so they do have that immense glow to them. All right, and here we have the bottom row, and once again you can see that there are some that are just really bright and lots of pigment. Those golds throughout the whole thing have been really vibrant. Even this one has a very definite look to it. These are all supposed to be, it says amplified facial palettes. They're supposed to be all highlighters. I was trying to use some of them as blushes, especially the more pinky blushes ones, but unfortunately, I feel for myself, this is not a great palette just because I can't use so many of these as highlighters. I'm not going to reach into this as a face palette, as an eyeshadow palette because it's so huge and the pans are so huge. It's just not something that I'm really going to reach into, and I have so many eyeshadow palettes. So I think this is one that I am going to pass along just because I don't feel like it's going to work as much for me, and I know somebody else will probably be able to get a lot more use out of it because it is gorgeous, and like some of these are stunning, and I wouldn't mind having some of these as individual highlighters, but all in all it's too much. It's too overwhelming as a palette in itself. I mean, look at the different shades that you get. So if you're a makeup artist, I don't know if they use Makeup Revolution. Like, I don't feel like that's probably a brand that they would use, but I feel like it's more of a color palette for somebody who is doing makeup, or like if you're doing theater, I think it would be a great palette because you could have lots of different people using the same palette and getting different colors for it to do makeup for the stage. So let's rank them and kind of talk about them from my least favorite to my most favorite. So in last place is going to be the Huda Beauty palette. I know that might seem a little shocking because I love Huda's products. I have, I think I have almost all of her eyeshadow palettes except like the brand new ones. I have her liquid lipsticks, I have lip liners, I have her matte lipsticks, I have some of the lip glosses. I've just really liked everything that I've tried from her. The problem with this palette is I got this about a year ago in my Ipsy, and when I was using it, like, it's not super old. I have much older palettes in my collection, but it smells so bad. It has gone rancid, and I'm pretty sure it's just this like cream highlight in here, but I was thinking about just trying to scrape that out and using the other 3 shades, but I can't tell if it's just that cream product or if it's the other ones also. So I might still like scrape it out and see if I can salvage the other 3, but I'm not sure. My other palette, I have another one of these from her, the Pink Sands, I think is it's called. And that does not have the same issue. And I know I got that one before I got this one. So I'm not sure what's up with that, why this one has gone bad other than the other ones. But unless you're going to be using this all the time, I would say don't get these palettes because they are going to go bad before you can use them. And that just really makes me like sick. I don't like wasting, I don't like throwing things out because they've gone bad. I want to try to use things up or pass them along to somebody who can use them before the products go bad, and they shouldn't go bad that quickly. The next thing up is the Makeup Revolution. I'm going to put this in 3rd place just because I think it's gorgeous and I really enjoy some of the highlights in here. But for me personally, it's not something that I can use on a regular basis. So it is going to be in 3rd place, and it is going to be passed along just because I want somebody else to get a little bit more love and enjoyment out of it than I have. It's kind of awkward. It doesn't sit in with my other palettes because it's so big and bulky as well. So yeah, that one's going to go there. Then, oh, this is a hard decision. I think I'm going to put Life's a Party as my 2nd place. And I'm going to do this because I feel like you have to build them up just a little bit more, which actually I really like. I'd rather have a little settled blush that I have to build up than something that I put on and I'm like, oh no, how do I get it to look more natural because I suddenly look like a clown. I don't want to have that look. I do really like this. I like the packaging on it. I think it's super cute, but it is big and bulky, so that's also part of it too. But this is definitely one that I want to focus on panning and getting out of my collection just because I do really love the Tarte formulas, and this is just a little bulky. So I'm going to put the Girl Powder as my number 1, even though this is one that I'm not sure I'm going to keep. I think the formula of this is my favorite out of all of these. They're very creamy and they feel so soft and kind of buttery. I really enjoy that aspect of it. And I do really like the highlighter. I need to give myself some more time with this. Even though I've used this like for 4 days and I've used it before that, I feel like I'm still on the fence whether I want to keep this or not. I probably will end up keeping it just because it's so stinking cute also. But for now, I'm going to put this as my 1st place, even though I'm a little unsure of it, which is kind of funny. That's never happened before. Let me know if you have tried any of these palettes, what your thoughts are on them. If you've had issues with the Huda palettes in the past, let me know that as well. What do you look for in your face products? What do you look for when you're using a highlighter or a bronzer or a blush? Let me know down below. I'm just starting to get into bronzer. I really didn't wear it much at all before the pandemic hit. And then I've been trying to use up some of the multitude of them that I have. So let me know down below your thoughts and opinions. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.